So could you please tell us a bit about your film 31 North, 62 East?
So 31 North 62 East was an idea that was pulled together in just 10 weeks, and it started filming in the summer year before last, and it's came out on the cinema in September of this year, and it had a 2-week run in the cinema, and now it's being sold by our sales agent.
So what's the basic premise of it?
So the film is about how the British Prime Minister gives up the position of an SAS unit in Afghanistan at 31 North 62 East to ensure an arms deal goes through after a last-minute glitch when the nephew of a rich king in that part of the world gets killed in Afghanistan, and the Prime Minister's asked to even the score, so he sacrifices his own troops.
Right, so it's quite a controversial topic, a corrupt prime minister. So what made you choose it?
Well, it just seemed very apt.
Fair enough. Yeah, I suppose all the corruption that's about the moment.
No, I think people the tagline is politics is a dirty business, and what we found when we're talking to people in the street is generally most people don't really trust their government or politicians anymore. There's this general question being asked is who's actually running the country? Is it really the politicians or is it industry running the country? And we just thought it was quite topical.
So you wrote the script with your brother. How was that? Do you have many creative differences?
Well, my brother did the bulk of the work. In fairness, he was just he would say to me, "What are the constraints I'm working to?" So, the analogy I give is I was standing beside a river with an engineer, and I said, "I need a bridge across this river," and he said, "Okay, well, how many cars, how many people, how big, how much money?" And I just said, "Well, no money, just go do." So yeah, he could only write the script based on the fact that we couldn't have any explosions, we couldn't crash jumbo jet in the middle of London, etc. So no, he did a absolutely fantastic job. I think with the constraints that he was put under, having to change things time and time again, I think he was glad to see the end of it at the end there.
So are you happy with the final result?
Yeah, I think the final result that we have is the best we could do, bearing in mind the constraints that we were put under. We had only 10 weeks to get the thing ready, and we had a limited amount of money. But those things considered, it was a good exercise, and it's ticked all the boxes of what we wanted to achieve by doing it.
So what kind of struggles have you personally had to face as an independent filmmaker?
As an independent filmmaker, it has advantages and disadvantages, and I think it's important to make use of the advantages that independence gives you, i.e., you can do things which are not mainstream, you can think outside the box, you can do things which perhaps wouldn't be acceptable on a bigger film. So, for instance, on our film, we made sure that the key heads of department were very accomplished. But in other areas, we use people with no experience whatsoever. So, for instance, in the area of catering, we didn't have a catering company. We had a couple of military tents, and we just kind of pulled it together. For makeup, my sister was a makeup artist, so I got her to do it. But this, like in wardrobe, I think halfway through the film, we didn't have a wardrobe department anymore, so my sister had to do that as well. So the moral of the story is if it's an independent film and you haven't got a lot of money, the two areas which are absolutely vital are to make sure that you capture the pictures in the highest possible format and quality, and that the sound is perfect. 20 years later, whether the food was terrible or not, nobody will remember. But if it's out of focus or it's not lit properly, you can't ever do anything about that.
So you've been a producer, director, and a scriptwriter. Which area of filmmaking do you enjoy the most?
Now, people say I'm good at producing. I don't have as much experience in directing, but I enjoy all of them really.
So you're currently making a documentary. What's it about?
Well, we're making about 5 documentaries at the moment, so it's kind of trying to juggle all the balls at the same time. But the documentary that we're most focused on at the moment is called Angel Without Wings, and it's the story of a girl who her whole dream was to be an airline pilot, and when she was about 32, she lost her health due to being exposed to chemicals whilst in the workplace, and she didn't understand why she was sick. So she then spent the next 13 years investigating what had gone on, and then basically ended up uncovering aviation's biggest cover-up.
Wow. So you've completed the UK Ironman challenge. Why did you want to do that?
I think you only live once in life, and sometimes it takes people a long time to realize that we're only here once. And this, as soon as you realize this in life, the sooner you can then get yourself motivated to do things. And I thought, well, if it's there to be done, it should be done. It's like some people climb Everest, and I thought, well, Ironman's the highest, hardest thing aerobically you can do. So let's go do. And if you put your mind to it, you can do anything.
That's really excellent philosophy. And finally, do you have any advice for budding filmmakers of Reigate College?
If you believe in yourself, everything's possible. You can really do it. The only person that's going to motivate yourself or ensure anything happens is yourself. Nobody's going to hand it to you. You've got to go and make it happen. But it's easily possible that one of the students that was sitting in that room today, which I talked to, could be picking up an Oscar for a film, within the next 10 years. It's very achievable. You just got to believe in yourself.
Well, thank you very much. This
Thank
has been
you.
really good.
Cheers.